this dish of some lovely red mullet, any fish will do. It's filleted, pin boned, and just lightly scaled, but it depends on the fish. But again, red mullet is what I'm using. Any nice little fish, as long as it's fresh, it's the main thing. I'm going to pair this with a lovely glazed carrot. So I'm just going to use a honey glazed carrot, so a nice piece of honey, cook down the carrots, and just season them lightly, and I'm just going to bulk those up a little bit just to make it more of a dish as opposed to a light vegetable kind of side ordery fish dish. Just to bulk up the dish, I'm going to use some chickpeas on this as well, and finish with just a little bit of lemon, some olive oil. Very, very simple little fish dish. But let's focus on carrots for a moment. Now, carrots are a fantastic vegetable. They're very economical to get, and that lovely orange color, that's a thing called beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is a very, very potent antioxidant. So it's great for combating oxidative stress, which can be, for some arthritis, that can be a core problem of causing arthritis even. So getting antioxidants through vegetables in your diet is very important. Beta-carotene as well is a precursor to vitamin A. Now, the other name for vitamin A is retinol. But the thing with retinol or vitamin A is you shouldn't consume too much of it because it's a fat-soluble vitamin and it can lead to some problems. It kind of lodges inside your liver. But beta-carotene is different because your body takes what it needs, makes the vitamin A it needs, and basically it's a more balanced way of getting in those nutrients. So carrots, as well as that, they're a relatively low-calorie vegetable, as with many vegetables, but they're a very nutrient-dense vegetable. They contain also very, very good levels of fiber, and they also have a few other anti-inflammatory nutrients within them as well. So various phytochemicals with big names that I'm not going to get too much into now at the moment. But basically, as part of an anti-inflammatory diet that's used for the management of arthritis, getting carrots into your diet, they're very versatile. They can be put into lots of different dishes. They store very well in the fridge. There's something you can have on hand all the time. I'd strongly recommend carrots as a great vegetable. You start matching it up with some nice pulses. You're bringing soluble fibers into the dish. You start bringing some lovely fish in there, so you have your omega-3s. And overall, you end up with a very, very good anti-inflammatory dish that's going to be suitable for a diet for the management of arthritis. So I'm going to get on and cook this dish. The job with this dish is cut your carrots. What I've done is I've cut the carrots I've peeled them and cut them into a long baton, which is the length of the entire carrot. And the first thing I'm going to do is pop those into some slightly salted water, and I'm going to boil them until they're just softened a little bit. Now, once your carrots have cooked and become nice and tender, you can just check them there yourself. I'm just going to drain those off, remembering that was lightly salted water. So again, you're not going to have to season these carrots much more. Now there's my carrots just lightly drained off. Now I'm not going to use a second pan in this. I like to keep things as easy as they can be. So into the pan, after draining off the carrots, I'm just going to add a little drop, about 20 ml of olive oil. Just going to toss my carrots around in that just for a second. Just like that, very, very simple. Next up, my pickled ginger. You'll get this ginger very easily in any Asian shop. It's a very easy thing to get. It's the ginger they use for sushi. So I'm just going to add that ginger into the carrots now. And that's going to give just lovely carrot, ginger, two vegetables that are a natural accompaniment to each other. And now what I'm going to do is put about a tablespoon, or in my case 2 teaspoons of honey. In with the carrots. So now I'm getting this lovely glazed carrot with a lovely, simple, mellow ginger flavour. As you can see, they just take on this lovely little shine. Next, I'm going to add my can of drained chickpeas. And that just gives a little bit of bulk onto this dish. I'm just going to, with the lid off, allow those boil down for a second, just to kind of eliminate a lot of any of the surplus juice in the pan. As my pan is just seasoning, or just reducing down, now I have a little bit of extra juice from the chickpeas and I actually want that. I'm just going to adjust the seasoning just a tad. And again, keeping this as an all-in-one pan dish, I'm just going to add a little bit of black pepper in there as well. And the salt I'm using is a potassium, not a sodium salt, which is a very, very good option for anybody with who's predisposed to high blood pressure. Just keeping those sodium levels down. Next up, with a little bit of juice in my pan, I'm going to keep my lovely red mullet. Now, any fish will do with this. And I've just lightly seasoned this, and I'm just going to place that down over the carrots randomly and the chickpeas. Now, these are quite thin pieces of fish. And now what I'm going to do is just cover that over, put it on a lower heat, and allow the fish to steam. I like steaming for fish because that helps protect the omega-3s. Now my fish has just been steaming on top of the carrots there for about 5 or 6 minutes. Just do keep an eye on it as it's cooking. And as you can see, the fish is just lovely and cooked now. And again, it's a very sympathetic way of cooking fish, this. You have a lovely kind of lightly ginger flavour carrot, the chickpeas, and then some nice bulk. But there is a lot of sweetness in this. So to counteract that sweetness, I'm just going to put the juice of half a lemon in. Just at the very end. And again, you can just adjust your seasoning with the fish and so on. Just that towards the end, in particular on the fish. And that is pretty much this dish done. So just to serve this dish then, nice appropriate plate, and then you have your kind of all-in-one pan dish, which is really handy. And then just go to simply spoon a couple of little fillets of fish with the carrots. Just pop it all nice and neatly on a plate. I'll spoon some of my chickpeas on. And again, with the chickpeas, the ginger, there's some really interesting, nice combinations here. And then I'm just going to take another fillet of my red mullet, just place it at the top. I'm going to give that dish a little drizzle just to richen it up a little bit with some olive oil. And then the very last thing I'm going to do is just use a little bit of scallion on it, just to kind of give a little bit of crunch and texture onto the dish. And there we have it, some lovely fish, carrots, chickpea with a lovely ginger glaze. I hope you enjoy this one.